From being fired from X Factor at once to their home being completely destroyed by fire, this is how the X Factor judges' family lost everything. The tragic tale of Natalia Kills and her husband began after they reached the pinnacle of entertainment. Starting their music careers humbly, Kills became famous overnight, stating, "I put a demo on MySpace in 2008 and Perez Hilton found it and blogged about it. Suddenly, I had 2 million plays and reached #1 on MySpace's unsigned artist charts." She was compared to Lady Gaga and featured with Kesha and Black Eyed Peas. Soon, Natalia blew up with over 270 million views of Champagne Shower featuring LMFAO. The success of the song led to Natalia being featured on Katy Perry's tour. Before meeting her husband Willy Moon, known as a songwriter with a huge reputation for Apple featuring his song, Yeah Yeah, in iPod ads, the duo rose to fame quickly. This earned them a judging job on X Factor at the same day and hour, only to be fired 3 months later, at the very same hour. The drama began when a contestant went on stage to perform Michael Bublé's song, Cry Me a River. Judges were impressed by Joe Irvine's rendition, except Kills, who immediately turned angry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna state the obvious, we have a doppelganger in our midst.
Brutally accusing Joe of cloning her husband.
As an artist who respects creative integrity and intellectual property, I am disgusted. I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband. From the hair to the suit, you do not have any value or respect for originality.
Before calling him a laughingstock.
You're a laughingstock. It's cheesy, it's disgusting.
Joe nearly faded, but that didn't matter as Kills went all out.
I personally found it absolutely artistically atrocious.
Although the audience was shocked by Kills' rude nature and started booing her, she was unstoppable.
I am embarrassed to be sitting here in your presence, having to even dignify you with an answer of my opinion.
Natalia's criticism reached the pinnacle after her husband weighed in.
Thank you, Natalia. You're beautiful.
To me, it just feels a little bit cheap and absurd.
Not to mention comparing Joe to a fictional psycho murderer.
It's like Norman Bates dressing up in his mother's clothing, and I feel like you're gonna stitch someone's skin to your face and then kill everybody in the audience.
Norman Bates is a fictional serial killer that literally killed like 11 people in the Psycho movie franchise.
After her husband sided with her, Kills did the unbelievable.
It's disgusting. You make me sick. It's absolutely disgusting. You have no identity. I can't stand it. I'm ashamed to be here.
Joe could barely stand the duo's criticism, which evoked audiences' compassion for him. Poor guy, oh my god, when they showed him crying, my heart actually hurt, and I teared up. The contestant didn't even argue and defend himself, he just stood there, and they kept going. They're disgusting bullies. The poor guy seemed so precious. When the camera panned over to him crying, my heart shattered. Even Ed Sheeran nearly cried, stating, "Don't worry about what other people say, man. Enjoy yourself with it. That's what singing is about, not what other people think." Following Ed Sheeran, popular New Zealand singer Lorde stuck up for Joe, causing the media to call out X Factor. CNN posted, "Are these the nastiest singing contest judges?" Describing married couple Natalia Kills and Willy Moon, who both were on the judging panel of the show, slammed the 25-year-old contestant Joe Irvine after his rendition of Michael Bublé's Cry Me a River. But it wasn't how he sang that ticked them off. Before showing the backlash thrown at X Factor, those comments were inappropriate and disgraceful. Shame on you, Natalia. Shame on you. X Factor seemed to ignore the criticism, prompting the creation of a petition intended to fire Natalia, with the description explaining, "She is rude and disrespectful to people in Aotearoa and has no heart for the contestants." Unsurprisingly, over 70,000 people signed the petition to fire the judge's family. Fire Natalia messages were huge, leading to her fellow judge Mel Blatt suggesting that Natalia should apologize.
Do you think she should apologize? I think she should apologize to Joe. Okay. Do you know, it's like everyone can say what they need to say and Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and you know, each to their own. But I just think Joe deserves an apology. I don't think it was fair what they said to him, and I don't think it was about his performance, so...
While the judge's family hesitated to say sorry, Simon Cowell, the creator of X Factor, saw the clip and reacted. It was hateful. She sounded mad. It didn't even make sense, causing the couple to be fired by media executive Mark Weldon, who stated, while the judges on X Factor are expected to provide critiques of the performances, we will not tolerate such destructive tirades from any of the judges. Contestants put their all into this competition, and they should expect to receive feedback and criticism that is professional and constructive. We no longer have confidence that Kills and Moon are the right people to perform the role of X Factor judges, and they will leave the show, effective immediately. However, fans didn't believe that the family was going to be dismissed until X Factor confirmed it on Facebook. We have decided Natalia Kills and Willy Moon are no longer suitable to judge the X Factor New Zealand and have been removed from the show. Lewis Walsh added that they won't work on X Factor ever again. She'll never work again, I reckon. Honestly, I mean, who's going to hire her? Nobody. This harsh criticism would lead Natalia to allegedly expose a dark truth we had never heard about X Factor, beginning with, "At last, I am relieved that I'm finally able to break the silence." A lot goes on behind the scenes of a reality show, and what you see isn't always the whole story. The show brought me on to bring my passion, dramatic expression, and perspective, emphasizing, I was encouraged to be outspoken, and things got out of hand. Her husband would emphasize that the show was planned, stating, "The reality of a reality TV show is that there's a lot the viewer doesn't see." The show encourages judges to be forthright and highly opinionated, adding, "Sorry, Joe." After being fired, the judge's family's music career took a challenging turn.
And honestly, right after that, she was dropped from her record label. Willy Moon's career is kind of just like tanked, if I'm being honest here. That, you know, he's just not as highly desirable in the music industry anymore after calling someone a fictional killer.
This led them to start their own band, Cruel Youth, which also closed its doors in 2018. However, the most devastating disaster was yet to come in 2021 when their apartment was completely engulfed in fire, burning even her underwear. Natalia cried, "This weekend Willy and I survived a fire, not just any fire, but a 5-alarm gas fire that took 200 firefighters and 12 hours to put out. We lost almost everything, but our neighbor saved our dog Bambi, and luckily, we get to start over together." It's terrifying and tragic, and after a hard year with COVID, the next few months won't be easy. Although Natalia ended with, "We lost almost everything," some people still view the accident as karma stemming from her conflict with Joe.
People are also still ruthless towards her over this incident.
Dan Karma is out here doing the job. Even years later, everything eventually goes back to you. This is karma. Well deserved for the bullying couple, adding clapping emojis as if something good had happened. The comments were so mean that Natalia turned them off.
So many comments under the post were gross, saying that it was karma and it should have been her.
It's sad to see people throwing hate at the X Factor judges' family, as they may have been part of a scripted show.
She's definitely felt the brunt of her actions and has faced a lot of consequences for something that might have been staged.